There we are again. Hey, how you guys doing? It's a live version, one more time, a live edition of Let's Talk Dodgers. So let's open the show. 10 count countdown. Is that too loud? No. What? Exploded right in my face.
Play ball. It's time for Dodger baseball.
Yeah. Well, not really, because they're not playing until tomorrow. Tonight's Thursday. We're recording this Thursday, but we're doing it live at 6:15 on Thursday night. Friday's when they open the series with the Buccos. We'll talk about that a little later. This is, well, you know who you are. I'm Randy. So come on in, pull up a chair, sit down, relax, and let's talk Dodgers. This is the best, first, and only video podcast by fans, for fans of your LA Dodgers. Today is the 20th day of August. Our last show was on the 17th. You can find this all the time at www.youtube.com/@Let's Talk Dodgers. Today on Let's Talk Dodgers, we're going to, well, the usual, going to do some news. No injury report. We don't need to hear that. You'll hear that everywhere else. Shout-outs. We're going to do boatload of shout-outs, a lot of newbies, anybody that's here live. This Dayton Dodger history, that's an interesting one I've never done before either. Memorabilia. Got some memorabilia. Stats of the day. I got a boatload of stats, some fun ones. Quick hit trivia, secret stuff. Get you out of the ballpark and more. But first, the news, the big news. I'm sure you know it unless you're behind a rock somewhere because we buried the rocks. We swept the Rockies this week. Game 1, Ohtani homered twice. Blake Snell struck out 5, allowed only 2 hits over 6 innings, and the Blue beat up the Rockies, but good. 11-5 on Monday night. Muncy also homered in that game. On Game 2, Shohei Ohtani did a 2-run job to reach 30 homers for the 6th straight season. And Freddie Freeman had 2 hits, 2 RBIs as the Dodgers beat the Rocks again, 7-6 on Tuesday night. And in that game, Eric Lauer went 5, gave up 6 hits, 4 runs, 1 walk, and got 6 Ks in 87 pitches. Tanner Scott got his 17th save. And just for good measure, it was a lot of fun. Teo triple in that game, which was kind of cool. We should play some triples sometime. Not this time. All right, in Game 3 last night, Tanner Scott, once again, came in, pitched a perfect 10th to notch his 18th save. He needed only 8 pitches, 7 strikes to shut the door on Colorado, which was cool. Mookie homered and capped a 3-hit night with an RBI single in the 10th, and the Blue beat the Rocks again, 6-4 Wednesday night. Yeah. By the way, Freddie hit his all-time 577th double in the game. Mookie went 3 for 5. Kike went 2 for 4, and a home run, 3 RBIs. Dodgers outscored the Rockies in this series, 25-14. Let's hear the home runs that happened. Mookie Betts first in the 4th inning.
Betts batting at 5-hole. Betts bangs one in the air to deep left field. This ball is gone. A leadoff home run for Mookie, his 16th of the season. It's now 2-0.
All right, that was cool. And then also in the 4th, a couple batters later, Kike did this.
Brings up Kike, brought in the first Dodger run. This one's high in the air, left field on the warning track. Veen at the wall, he leaps, he's not going to get it. Kike finds the seats at Coors for a 2-run homer. The second long ball of this 4th inning for the Dodgers. Now the Rockies have a problem. That's kind of the Dodgers, right? Kike Hernandez gets put in the starting lineup.
Yeah.
Got 3 ribbies.
Yeah, 3 ribbies, baby. I love it. That was great. Good sweep. And like I said at the beginning of the week, this was Get Fat on Rockies week, and they did it. By the way, get this. This is my own stat. Are you ready for this one? When everybody gets back, or at least all the pitching guys, Glasnow's coming back this week, I guess, sometime. We're going to have a rotation. Listen to this. We're going to have a rotation of 9 guys. Skubal, Yamamoto, Ohtani, Snell, Glasnow, Robleski, Sasaki, and don't forget that Emmett Sheehan and Eric Lauer can also start. One of those 2 guys will probably be in the bullpen. That's 9 starters we're going to have at our disposal. I like that. We've tried to have this type of rotation in place the past few years. 9 is a great number to have. And if you don't use them all as starters, or if somebody gets hurt, you can use them as starters, or you can use them in the bullpen, whatever. We're going to be loaded for the last month of the season and in the playoffs, we hope. Right? Okay. We're going to bypass an injury report. Fun stuff. Seems he's been gone for such a long time. I guess it was. But you know what's funny? I love this on Saturday. I don't know if you heard it. Charlie Steiner has been suffering and battling cancer the last few years, but his cancer went into remission in October of 24. It took him a whole lot more time before he was able to call 9 innings again at Dodger Stadium. That ended this past Saturday, August 15th, when the longtime Dodger radio voice called a full game for the first time in 3 years. I'm sure some of you heard him do bits and pieces of games since then. He'd go to do about 3 or so and then split, having Steven Nelson take over or whatever. And here's a quote from Charlie. He says, I got home after a game, and I'm sitting there with ice packs on my back. Steiner told Bill Shaken of the LA Times. He says, it's like I've completed playing. And Steiner initially returned to the booth for opening day in 25, but he had to leave midway through. He followed a similar pattern for a few games this season and worked for himself up to 6 innings last Thursday. The former SportsCenter anchor said he wanted to shoot for 7 innings the next time, but producer Dwayne McDonald encouraged him to consider going all 9, and that's what he did on Saturday. Quote, it means the world to me, Steiner told USA Today Sports. That's great. He got in the paper. And it was the most meaningful game of my career. While his voice was raspy at times, and I heard this, but I heard it clear up towards the middle of the game. Steiner was back in rare form, and for that, we are very appreciative. So welcome back, Charlie. We're appreciative, and we love having you back, and I hope you can do more. That was bugging me for a couple of years. Now, no disrespect to any of their guys. Tim Neverett does a great job, and so does Steven Nelson and Rick Monday, all those guys. But, man, Charlie Steiner, there's just something about the guy. He's almost baseball royalty. He should be in the Hall of Fame soon. I think he might make it. We'll see. All right, we got a boatload of shout-outs today. Wow. First of all, let's check whoever's live right now, because I told everybody we're going to be going at 6:15. It's already 6:22 right now. Nobody's here. Where's Big Jack? Big Jack. I don't know. Where's Paulie? Hey, shout out to Paulie. All right. Let's do our we'll check back at the end of the show, see who else is here. All right. All right. Today we have a whole bunch of shout-outs. Let's see who we have. Drew S., Tina P-M. We're not going to all the last names hyphenated. Crystal K., Virgil L., Vernon L., Jack W., Bob S., Chris L., Zach H., Adam M., Sarah M., Matt W., David P., Caesar C., Lisa G., Cheryl C., Lynn T., David C., Paul D., Roger Yee, and you and me, and Fox Kelly, who's also Fox Jabri because he is El Zorro. Thank you, everybody, for watching and listening to Let's Talk Dodgers. Thanks, everybody. Tell all your friends. Thank you, newbies, for being here. Can I hear one more time for the newbies? Tell all your Dodger-loving friends where we are in Facebook. Tell them to like us in Facebook. Tell them to catch us here in YouTube. Follow us in YouTube and hit the subscribe button. We're always talking Dodgers in here, and we don't bore you with a lot of statistics. We'll give you a few fun ones, but we're not going to go crazy with all the crazy metrics. We don't need that. We get that enough as it is. It's a little overdone, I think. I like to stick to the fun ones. This date in Dodger history, August 20th. Here's one I can't remember ever having done before. So this is a new one to me. Maybe you heard of this one. I don't know. August 20th, 1974. The Dodgers collect 24 hits. I like that already. Let's do that. Setting a club record with 48 total bases that day, including Davey Lope's 3 home runs, a double, and a single. The Dodgers second baseman's 15 total bases in the 18-8 rout of the Cubs is the most ever for a leadoff hitter. How cool is that? Wait a minute. I went to go look up the game to see if there are any highlights on it. Sometimes you find 70s highlights, not too often, but that one wasn't there. But that's pretty amazing. 24 hits with 48 total bases, and they beat the crap out of the Cubs 18-8. Very cool, very cool. All right, let's see. We got some memorabilia this time. Let's take a look at it. Yeah, we got a book. We alluded to this. I'll turn on the light. That's too bright. We alluded to this about, 3 or 4 shows ago, and we talked about, I think we must have mentioned something about Gibby and his home run and all that stuff. I was there. So was Roger for 1988 Game 1. I was there for Game 2 as well. But the guy that gave him the scouting report, Mel Didier, he wrote a book several years ago called Podna, Let Me Tell You a Story. And that comes from the fact that when Gibson backed out of the box before he hit that enormous home run in 1988, he remembered the scouting report from Mel Didier because he's a Southerner, and Didier had his accent. He said, Podna, as sure as you're breathing, if you're 3-2, Eckersley's going to throw you a backdoor slider. And that's exactly the way that Gibson remembered it in his brain. Well, but Mel Didier wrote a whole book about it, and it's pretty cool. And if you've never seen it, It's hard to get. I think, what year was this? Really cool book. 2007 it came out. I've only shown it, I think, one other time on this show, so we'll keep it to 2 now. All right, that's a great book. I read it. If you're into the Gibson thing in 1988, it's fun to listen to Mel Didier talk about it. It was really pretty cool book. And I believe Mel Didier has passed away since. Is that right? Maybe. Yeah. All right. Also on this show, I want to do something I've never done before. Now, this is not a paid sponsorship. This is from me directly. So no Facebook or YouTube. I'm not taking in any money for this. This is just all on me, and it's on me. For those of you who are Dodger fans, sometimes we have music and baseball together. As you know, music and baseball go great together. All kinds. In fact, we're gonna play sometime again. We'll play some music. But I just want to let some of you know. First of all, where are my music fans? Where anybody rock and roll? Any rock and rollers? Okay, not any, we don't want the progressive guys, but who likes rock and roll, old time rock and roll? 50s, 60s, 70s, maybe some 80s. Okay, tell your parents. But on the East Coast, we know all the Italian Americans love doo-wop and all that stuff. They've kept oldies alive there. And on this coast, we had all the Hispanic people from all the different Latin American countries, as well as East LA and Oxnard and all the places where the Hispanics roll, because they love their oldies. And that's because Art LeBeau and all those guys and Huggy Boy. Well, anyway, to make a long story short, one of the things I've been doing the last 27 years almost, I've been playing a lot of rare rock and roll on a little internet station I have called Rockin' Radio, ROCKINRADIO.com. It's a website. I pay for it all myself. Nobody's making a nickel. It's not pay. It's not for pay. It's all on demand. We put 5 one-hour shows up every month. We change them out once a month. Got 5 different DJs, and we have a blast doing it. We play the best oldies and classic rock you've never heard, and soul and garage band music and acid rock from the 60s and 70s, all kinds of stuff, as well as roots of rock stuff. But most of it is non-hits, so they're non-familiar. We don't play the same 300 hits that all those oldie stations used to play. We're playing rare stuff, and the soul guys are playing soul stuff, and we're playing a lot of pop and rock and a little bit of jazz once in a while. But we play a lot of non-top 40, bottom 60 tunes, B-sides, album tracks, deep album cuts, the whole thing. So come on by, check us out one time, rockinradio.com. I'm there with the show all the time, as well as my friends Jason, Brian, Mark, and Jimmy. And I think if you like oldies, rare but well done, you'll love it. Here's one of the newest jingles we just got. Check it out. All right.
With rock and radio.
With rock and roll the way it used to be. It's Rockin' Radio.
Yes. Okay. Enough of that. That's enough of that. That's my best commercial. What can I do? All right. Stats of the day. Last night, the Dodgers improved to 4-0 in extra innings games. They're the only team without an extra innings loss, which is very cool. And for the fewest games played, the Dodgers are tied with the Rangers for the fewest games going to extras. Only 4. How about that? That's pretty crazy. Here's some other cool stats. Freddie Freeman I heard this in passing last night. This is amazing. You got to celebrate this guy. Why is he a Hall of Famer? Everything you know about him plus this. Freddie Freeman has only had 13 4-strikeout games in his 17-year career. I heard that one last night over Sportsnet LA. I went, what? That sounds like Joe DiMaggio. He struck out like 36 times in his career or something. Freddie's only struck out, four strikeout game 13 times. I think DiMaggio had 2 or something, but he struck out one year like 30 times in a whole season. But that's him. But I mean, you don't hear about that kind of stuff. That's pretty crazy. Freddie Freeman has 13 4-strikeout games. A lot of guys are striking out 4 times all the time. So that's pretty crazy. And as they sealed the sweep of the Rockies last night, they gave the Dodgers their 9th series sweep of the season. Wait. And if you're thinking, that's most of the National League this year. Nobody has more sweeps than the Dodgers, 9. And since the All-Star break, Roki Sasaki has posted a 2.31 ERA over 6 starts with 34 strikeouts, 13 walks. Last night, he went 5, giving up 7 hits, got 7 strikeouts, and allowed 1 walk in 99 pitches. I'll take that, except for maybe the 7 hits. Cut down on the hits next time, buddy. All right. Also, another one for Freddie. This is another killer stat about this guy. I believe this season, Freddie Freeman owns the best road record average among all major leaguers. He's batting .339 on the road as of Wednesday this week. Really? Nobody else is. I mean, that's crazy. And then let's see, one more here. Yeah, two more. Shohei Ohtani is the 7th Dodger in franchise history to record at least 30 home runs in 3 consecutive seasons. Let's say who the others are in Dodger history. Well, I know Gil Hodges went 50 to 54, so that's 5 seasons. Duke Snider did 53 to 57, but he also had 40 home runs for 4 years in a row. Nobody's done that in a long time. And then Mike Piazza had 95, 96, 97. Eric Karros, 95 and 97. Raul Mondesi, 97 and 99. Gary Sheffield, 99 to 2001. And of course, Ohtani, 24, 25, and 26. So 3 years in a row or more of 30 home runs in consecutive seasons. That's pretty darn good. All right, the last stat is always the Jack in the Box Jumbo Jack watch. We've refined it and streamlined it, so we're not making a bigger deal of it. But so far this season, Dodger pitching staff has turned the trick 7 or more Ks in a game, 105 times in 128 games played. Wow. That's 82% of the time. You could walk into your nearest Jack in the Box, LA or Ventura County, the next day after getting 7 strikeouts and say, give me the Dodger deal, please. And the Dodger deal consists of buying a large drink, and then they'll fix a Jumbo Jack for you any way you want. So that's pretty cool. All right, let's do some quick hit trivia. Haven't done this in a little bit. Let's see. This is a different one. I don't think I've ever given this one. What unusual feat did Willie Crawford and Lee Lacy accomplish in the 1975 season with the Dodgers? And I'll give you a multiple choice. What unusual feat did Willie Crawford and Lee Lacy accomplish with the 75 Dodgers? Was it A, stole home in the same week? Was it B, stole home in the same game? Or was it C, they hit back-to-back pinch home runs? Answer in a few minutes. First of all, I want to do a quick thing. We've updated you on all the different free ways to watch Dodger games for free. Let me give you one of the best ones and easiest ones. This is for people that don't have Fox or anything else coming up on Saturday, because the Saturday game is going to be on Fox. But remember me talking about Blue Live Stream, which was an actual place on YouTube where you could go to a page and watch the games for free? Well, they changed their name to BLS last year. Now they've changed again. It's called Dodger Blue Bloods. You have to be invited, so hit me up. And Lorraine W. over there is, I guess, running the whole thing. And so hit me up if you want to watch. And Paulie, if you're watching, Paul, my buddy Paul D, he's got to get his act together, get into Facebook. And I think I invited him to Dodger Blue Bloods, but he should check it out, because he was telling me that I didn't have Fox. Well, we're going to be on Fox on Saturday again. So got that? Let's get you out of the ballpark and tell you exactly what's going on here. Dodgers are home for 3 against Pittsburgh starting tomorrow night, Friday night. Friday, 8/21/26. Yoshi Yamamoto, whose birthday was a couple days ago. Happy 28th birthday to Yoshi. Yamamoto is 12-7 with a 2.60 ERA. That's great. He's going up against the Pirates' Bubba Chandler, who's 6-8 with a 4.23 ERA. That's a 7-10er on Sportsnet LA. 7-10 Friday night. Got it? Saturday, Cheryl alert. Tarek Skubal, he's 0-2 with the Dodgers and a 3.18 ERA. He's going up against the Pirates' Jared Jones, who's 2-5 with a 4.78 ERA. That's a 4:15 game on Big Fox. 4:15 game on Big Fox Saturday. KTTV Channel 11. Got it? Okay, lock it in. And Sunday, the 23rd of August, is going to be Snellzilla Day again on Sunday. Blake Snell and his 1-1 record, 3.60 ERA. He's going up against Carmen Mlodzinski, another ski, 6-6 with a 4.03 ERA. That's a 1-10er on Sportsnet LA. 1-10 on Sportsnet LA Sunday. Got it? Okay. Pirates are 63-66 in 4th place in the NL Central, 16.5 behind the Brewers. The Dodgers are 77-51 in 1st place, 9 games ahead of the San Diego Padres. I like it. And by the way, Kike and Max celebrate their birthdays coming up next week, so we'll give them a shout out next week. All right, here's the quick hit trivia answer. Earlier, we asked, what unusual feat did Willie Crawford and Lee Lacy accomplish with the 75 Dodgers? Was it A, stole home in the same week? Was it B, stole home in the same game? Was it C, hit back-to-back pinch home runs? Well, anybody get the answer? Let's go through them. Was it stole home in the same week? Nope. Was it stole home in the same game? Nope. It was hit back-to-back pinch home runs. Right? That's
right.
Okay. And the explanation behind that is about a week after the 75 All-Star game at Milwaukee, Steve Garvey and Jimmy Wynn became the first NL players to hit back-to-back home runs in leading the NL to a 6-3 victory over the AL in that All-Star game. Well, about a week later, Crawford and Lacy replicated the All-Stars teammates' effort, except for one major difference. Crawford and Lacy's homers were in pinch-hitting roles against the Cardinals, back-to-back. So that's pretty amazing that Crawford and Lacy hit back-to-back pinch-hit home runs in the same game. By the way, Crawford hit 9 home runs that year. Lee Lacy had 7 that year. So there's your quick hit trivia answer, and I hope you guys got it right. Yeah. Other cool stuff. This is for you tonight. Anybody watching this, don't forget I tend to leave pretty cool Dodger content about our team in our Facebook page. So check back often. And by the way, if you're there, check back now, mostly on Dave's off. Today's a day off. We're going to do more of that during our day off, and that's today. And guess what I'm putting up there? We just lost Tommy John last week. Well, I got a really nice 2021 interview that Ross Porter did with Tommy John from about 5 years ago, 2021. And I'm going to post it right after we post this up in our Facebook page. We're live right now in YouTube Live. I don't see anybody here live with me, but we are doing it live. So as soon as I get off of here and bounce it back over to Facebook, we're going to put up that Tommy John interview. It's about 30 minutes, as I recall. You're going to dig it. It's pretty good. And Ross doesn't even talk about it in his new book either, so that's pretty unusual. All right, so that is going to do it for right now. And I'm glad you could join us today on Let's Talk Dodgers. Tell all your Dodger-loving friends where we are. Tell them we're here on Facebook and in YouTube. We're here all the time, so we're talking Dodgers all the time. And we'll see you next time right here on Let's Talk Dodgers. And so in case you forgot where we're going to be on Saturday, here's a little tag from Fox. Thanks for watching, everybody. Bye. One more look at the book. Very cool.